we welcome Andrew Brandler, who's the Chief Executive Officer of CLP Holdings on this Friday morning. Okay, Andrew, I promise I won't open the SCMP as you said, but let's talk about this momentum in the second half because business did pick up in the second half there. So what about building into 2010? How does that look?
Well, we did have a very good second half, and in particular in the international businesses. The overall loss is as a consequence of our lower return here in Hong Kong, which has been in the market for 18 months. And I think we have a good prospect for continuing the performance in the second half.
Yeah, and China really helped you out in the second half as well.
Yeah.
But you're going to try to reduce your stakes in these China coal-fired plants, is that right? Even though coal is basically the majority supplier of electricity on the mainland.
Yes, well, we want to reposition our portfolio on the mainland away from coal-fired generation, where we have no competitive advantage, towards cleaner generation, in particular renewable energy, and more investment in nuclear, where we are already an existing player in southern China.
How do your shareholders feel about that, considering coal is basically the majority electricity generator on the mainland? That's where a lot of people, a bulk of where a lot of people are getting their electricity and profits from, some would say as well.
Well, as I say, we have no competitive advantage, and we're not looking to exit entirely from our coal-fired portfolio, just selective minority joint ventures where we have frankly, we're just a financial investor. We think it makes sense to harvest those investments.
So it's not about cleaner energy, it's just about looking for competitive, I guess, advantage, right?
Well, it's a bit of both. You know, we are over time repositioning our portfolio away from a carbon-intensive portfolio. But that's a 20-year type program. So selectively, where we have no competitive advantage in coal-fired generation, we're looking to exit.
Now that's really interesting because you're looking to exit these coal-fired stakes in China. But in India, your biggest investment, in fact, is a $1.2 billion coal plant. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and are you looking to IPO this in the future?
Well, our Indian business is growing very rapidly, and I think India is potentially a very attractive market for CLP. We've been active there for 10 years. We're the biggest foreign investor in the power sector in India, and we're positioned across the whole value chain. We will do coal-fired generation in India, but we're also doing gas-fired generation. We're doing wind. We're going to do hydro as well. So across the whole value chain. Now, it's possible at some future date we may look to IPO that business, given that the likely capital demands on the holding company.
Yeah. When do you think you might IPO this India business?
Well, we've made no decisions at all, but we are looking to put the corporate structure in a shape where we could push the button at some future date.
Because you said this back in September. Still haven't heard any announcement just yet, Andrew.
Well, we're not rushing to do things.
So how does it make sense that you're reducing your stakes in coal-fired plants in China, but building on it in India?
Well, we've always said that as we move to decarbonize our portfolio, that there'll be a degree of repositioning, and our carbon emissions will probably go up before they go down. But the intensity of the emissions, i.e. the carbon emissions per kilowatt hour of production, we want that to go down constantly. So if we do more coal, we're going to have to do more offsetting gas-fired generation, renewables, and nuclear. Okay,
so you won't give me a timeline. How about I give you one? You tell me if it sounds right. What about an IPO for this India business, say, in 2010?
Well, I say we've made no decision to IPO the business. Now, I doubt we would, if we did make a decision, and I stress we haven't, I doubt we would do it this year.
Okay, and okay. Fine, then we won't expect it in 2010. What about China? Because of wind farms is basically where CLP is looking towards right now. You've invested in, say, these wind power generators in China. Any specific names here?
Oh, we have a whole variety of different wind projects. We have probably now some 20 different wind farms that are either in operation or under construction, spread across the whole country.
Spread across the whole country. You're looking to basically have more renewables generate electricity here in Hong Kong as well.
Well, yes, it'll be a small element of Hong Kong's generation. We are looking to develop an offshore wind project here.
Okay.
But that's got a few years to go as well.
A few years to go. Andrew, thank you for stopping by. Andrew Brandler of CLP.